Hello everyone and welcome back to Old World. I'm your host, Cos Fade. It's episode 21 and I'm a slightly happy camper here. Not just because the war is going really well, but you might notice a slight change, a subtle change in the audio quality here of my voice. And that is due to the very nice SM58 that I have, which is a really cool thing. And I want to talk more about this real quick. And what about this? Do you have to buy that tile? Yep. Push the boundaries there. What do you got there next to the city? You can build a market or a range. Let's do that. Sister, you've built so much here. You can build the nets, but your time here is just about over. Same thing with you. What are you going to do? Build some lumber mill over there? Okay. Yep, and then all that's left is just basically where are all these guys? These are up by Post Falls. Okay. They'll actually get some experience. These guys need to heal. Come up here and take your free promotion to amphibious. We're going to be Besieger. That'll be important. I think that's kind of all we got to do here, except for these cities. So down here, this one, what do we want to do? It's still taking a long time to build stuff here. So, oh, look at this. You can get what? Citrus? Gives you just bonus to growth and money, I think. Okay. Well, a gardener. But what else does it give? It doesn't give a bonus to food. It costs, oh yeah, 20 food though. Plus 10 food per year. I'll do all those gardeners. And the other one, Great Falls, way up here. Apprentice officer. Master officer. Elder officer. All the promotions. Okay, I think we're done. I'm gonna let those other 16 orders just die. I'm not concerned about them. The big concern here is, oh, she's queen here. She's starting to get upset at 116. But the big thing is, let's go. Take the last of these Persian cities from them. As they shuffle around. Assyria rips through its turns. Okay, Spokane. Let's do this. Kill that guy. They're dead. Good. Alright. You have free experience. And you get a promotion. Horsebane. You guys did that. Let's move you over to here. That's as far as you can go. We're going to have you heal. Prominent local leaders of San Francisco wish to host a seasonal festive celebration. National values. Sure, because through the state, all things are possible. Sempronia of the Fabius family accuses you of possessing a weak will with regards to your subject. What's next? Freedom for the beasts of the field, for the sheep in the pastures? Yeah, it's called free range. Yes, slavery is the natural order. Free law, slavery, no. Okay, so no, I will not respond to empty threats. Choose new governor for Great Falls. Okay, that's my only choice. Oh, 50% improvement cost, fine. Let's go finish off wars though. Wars are the important thing here. Wars. Yazid. Actually, you know what? Yazid, what are you? Okay. What do you have here for me? Farmer? Apprentice scribe. A rancher. Yeah, give me that, because that... And give yourself a moat. Alright, up here. Archers. What do you guys do? What do you get? Highlander, range, steadfast, guard 1. Wow, ranger. Okay. Poke him. Finish him off. We're so close. Almost, but not quite. It'll be next turn. Let's get that. Okay, boats. Yeah, do your cleaving thing here. I'm gonna send you over there because in a turn you can heal. Well, not necessarily in a turn, but so lots of stuff there, but not quite. Persia not quite conquered there. Alrighty. If it must be that way. Yeah, this is what we need you guys to move up here. This is the other front line. You're working. Okay. Next unit. No. Next unit here. What are you gonna do, my man? Build a mine? Okay. She's there, and there's not much left to build over here. So, farms. Can you take that by buying it for Billings or Grand Forks? Who wants it? It's because it's a banger. You should buy it for Grand Forks. It's cheaper anyway. Oh, hold on. So what do we have here? This guy. I want to get all these guys kind of like on the border. Oh, well, okay. Keep your free experience. Oh, you've already moved as much as you can. Okay, so you, sister. Can you go over there and buy that? Great. What about you? Go down here and buy that. There we go. Smush it. More farms. Bombs. Right up here in the border. I'm going to need everybody for this thing. This is going to be redonkulous. What is this thing? Oh, that thing. It's like a battering ram, isn't it? Okay. What do we want to move? Anything? I'm going to leave everything the way it is right here and just end my turn. I know it's 90 orders, but conquering those cities is the most important thing. I don't really... Once I get the workers working, it's like, I don't need to move everybody just yet. I mean, I've got to keep people over here. They're at 120, so I think we're good. If this hits 2,000, then we'll just push it over. Oh, they came over to attack us. Did they kill one of my units? How'd they do that? Looked like they fired twice. Somebody needs to kill those guys. Where are they at? Oh, there's dudes there. They keep getting these rebels to happen. Alright. Foreign agents. Trigger the local uprising. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to have to do that. Economic reform. What's this do? Just a victory point? Okay. Alright. In that case, spy. Let's go over to her. Infiltrate. Slander. I don't care about that. Infiltrate, success, exposed. Territory infiltration. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Take these cities. That's the most important thing. Except for this fool up here who's running around right over there. You guys, come here. I don't know how he got over there. But he can be a crunchin'. Can we do this? Do we have enough this time to do it? Smash. Hulk smash. I'm gonna move you around. Trying to get this. Okay. Come up here. Oh my gosh, we're so close, but not there yet. That guy beating up my one guy. That stinks. Oh, but hold on. Ah, sucker. I'm gonna get you, sucker. It used to be a movie, I think, long ago. That's just damage dealing. Okay. So down here, a little less straightforward. I'm gonna need a couple more units, aren't I? Well, these guys can move in it. Or can they? I guess not. To kill them now. Pain in the Batuski. You guys, what are you doing? Move over here. I'm gonna force march you right down to here. There we go. Salt Lake City says, hey, I can build stuff. What do you want me to build? Well, I'd like it. Yeah, here we go. Legionaries. Polybolos. Yeah, build those things. Because this is going to be necessary. Doink. Doink. Alright. Next, workers for a turn. Do you need a harbor anywhere? Can you build a harbor there? Yes, you can. In that boat. You can sit there in that harbor. What's it want me to build there? It wants me to build a windmill? I'm going to build a mine. You're right on the border, aren't you, Buster? Why don't we build a couple more forts? You guys have what? Free upgrade? You get a promotion. Horsebane. Okay, back to workers. Darling, can you buy that one? Yep, buy that tile. Now we're all smushed up on the border there. That's great. What about here? Lumber mill, aquarium mine. Let's go for the lumber mill. What about you? That's lumber mill. You're sitting there. What do they want you to build there? A mine? Sure. Not gonna argue with that. What about there? Can you build a farm? Yep. Still behind on the old farmland, which we're going to be for a while, I think. Alright. Cities. Way over here in this land. So let's go. Apprentice officer. What's the apprentice scribe get us? That. Rancher. He gets us, yeah, gardener. Fisher. Master officer. Apprentice officer. Now you got a full slate of stuff to build for a while. Ekbatana can build a master officer in one. Oh, well, build a couple of those guys then. They got a bunch of stuff to build. And a moat. Perfect. Anchorage. -3 at level 0. This is so pretty. They're doing so good. So good. Alright. End the turn. With 166 orders. Because I just want to take those cities. And then we'll start using all of our orders to move even more people over. We'll get those people taken care of. Assyria. They have to know it's coming, right? They have to know their doom. Their doom is coming. And we have a ton of orders now, which is great. Oh, rebels over here by where? And some by Spokane? Okay. Give you a free promotion for Brave versus Melee units. Come up here. You guys get a promotion. No Horsebane. Besiege you though in the urban. That'll do it. Finish that off. You guys can heal. Okay. And then there was what? Some down here? Yeah. I'll get you in another turn unless I want to send archers after you, which I really don't. I'll send these guys up here. Bye-bye, elephant. Forget that, punk. Okay, promotion here. Herbalist, tough if damaged, yes. This thing promotes brave versus melee units. 25 offense defense from urban. Versus siege ships. No, just do combat then. Our siege ships over here can attack these guys. Meanwhile, let's see if we have enough. Boy. These guys are stuck here on the outside, so they're going to move over here and kill them. Come on now. This might do it. Persia is ours. We're capturing in 5 years. Oh my gosh. That feels awesome. Okay, now we just gotta take this city. We got 2 cities left. Yeah, take about 3 or 4 turns to do that. Oh, I love the cleaving attack. That's just so nice. Pokey pokey. Alright. We're gonna do this. Messages from Assyria with an intriguing offer. Queen Margarita. Queen Margarita. The endless Margarita of Assyria finds herself with a strong military, but a shortage of resources, and her message suggests perhaps we can both benefit from this situation. For a modest fee, you can acquire the services of a powerful battering ram. An excellent offer. We send Assyria 100 ore and 200 trees, and we get a battering ram. Heck yeah. Stroke of good luck. Cache of precious metals has been discovered in a new mine near Boise. Edit. Let's add the culture. We don't really need the money. We don't need no money. Alright, let's work these people. What are you gonna build up there? My mine. Probably gonna build the quarry, but lumber mill. You're staying? What else do you want to build? It says build nets right there. Okay. Build more lumber mill. Darling, over here. A university. We're so cultured. Alright, my friend. Where are you at? Yeah, you're just... Oh, did you not get you didn't get a chance to attack any of that, did you? Well, then just attack him. The city's encircled, and you're sitting over here going, man, I'm bored. What am I supposed to do? Well, we'll make it happen for you. Billings is idle. What would we like to do there? Poet, officer. Alright. Apprentice priest, monk, officer, master officer, treasury. Yeah, let's do that. Treasury, archive. Now you're building stuff. Alright, 178. That's great. We're like 200, pretty close to 200 orders or something like that. We're in really good shape. And we can buy orders with cash. Supposedly. I've never done that before, but that's what it says we can do, so. At year 181. You better fire and get that. You better kill that boat. They're gonna. That's okay, because the next boat can scoot over there. Take him out. Rebel's turn. Ekbatana. Okay. Foreign agent has triggered the local uprising. Get out of my face. I'm going to do this. I want to go back to Ecbatana. I don't like these uprisings. These guys are punks. I'm going to move you down there and give you the free promotion to Shield Bearer. Going to come down to Ecbatana. Finish that off. We're capturing this city, so you know what we're going to do? Promote Bloodthirsty. Shoot. Shoot. What do you get a free promotion for what? +1 at anchor range. Target attempts to retreat or else stunned. Water Horsebane. Sure, I'll take Horsebane. It won't affect these guys, but let's see. Let's take you guys and move you over here and have them whack on that one. Because the archers are going to be needed down here. Doink. Just like that. How many more archers do I have? Just you guys, and you went that turn. Alright. What's your free promotion? Shield Bearer? Strike. Okay. Cut these guys down. Now let's encircle. Oh boy. We're getting close. They're done. The conscripts are no challenge for our master sword people. Alright. You can go right over there. Smack that thing around. We have them drowning, sir. And welcome back for the second time in this video. I will tell a little story. A lot has happened. Refuse to listen to lies. Execute Gaius as a traitor. Duchess Yaba the Witty joins us. Oh, a spy master brings news that a Syrian agent, Yaba, has been caught trying to instigate an insurrection in Billings. When questioning her, the foreign agent is surprisingly open and offers to join you. Quickly claiming that oligarch Gaius of Grand Forks has agreed to take a bribe to help the Assyrians. Okay. She'll join us. The Persian pagan community of Ecbatana has been coming together at the local library, examining ancient works and discussing them in light of their teachings. The library is becoming an important center of learning for Persian paganism. They should continue to discuss and learn. Or, yeah, we'll do this. Okay. Oh, upgrade intelligence. Upgrade intelligence. Wisdom. Let's go eloquent. Okay. Now we're here. All right. Leave some running room here on what we have. What we have going on. We're at war with Persia, but I haven't played this in over 2.5 weeks, and as those of you on Twitter know, I became a victim of COVID, which was just incredibly unfortunate situation. I was recording this video, as you know. I got 22 minutes into it, and then I got interrupted or something. I had to stop recording, and then life kind of carried on. And you might hear some gaps here in my talking. It's me editing out the COVID cough, which is horrible. And so what happened is, like, I had to leave for an event over a weekend, so I just stopped the recording and said, oh, well, I'll come back on Monday and finish it. Well, unfortunately, I came back from that weekend excursion with COVID. Totally terrible. And whether I can even get through this video or not will be something. But I wanted to get this one out because it was halfway done. And I've got my fancy new microphone, and I thought, okay, let's see what we can do. I have figured out how to record the game audio and my voice. on 2 separate channels, so I can edit my coughs out without affecting the game audio. You'll just hear, gap is what you'll hear. But let's go through here. Where are our units? Down here. Phoenix. We're capturing. Oh no, that's ours now. Let's see, what do we have? We have these cities are the last ones. Okay. Oh yeah, we were moving everybody over here against Assyria, I think. So this bloke has a promotion. It's the COVID thing. Definitely, I can say that you don't want to get it. The BA5 version. Oh, did you already go? You did. It's just nasty. It's downright awful. Okay, so this is where we're closing in on. Okay, I got you. I'm getting myself caught back up here. This place, what do we want you to do? We need, how much do we have? Plus 175. Let's give you some of your apprentice officers to generate more of that. Joseph, you have 11 citizens, so you really need to make use of them. Stone cutout. What are we short on? Mining is at 405, 408. Stone is at 688. Trees are at 218. Master officer. Okay, let's do that. Elder officer, master officer. You guys are done. Yeah, so I think I must have had this plan of starting to move people over against the Assyrian border, because we know we're going to have to deal with them next, which would be great. So I'm going to kind of use the rest of this episode to plus 1 fatigue limit consumes us. Anchor range, shield bearer, combat. Anchor range I kind of like. I'm going to use the rest of this episode to kind of catch everybody up on what's been going on the last couple weeks and how I got to this horrible state with this cough. So I have been very diligent for the last 2.5 years, not wanting to catch COVID, specifically because look, we've got all these guys masked up here, specifically because I have year-round allergies and I get bronchitis like super easy. And I knew that it took them a little while to learn. At first they thought it was COVID, was just a lung thing, but they later learned that it's a vascular disease. It goes through the bloodstream and affects your whole, anywhere your blood touches it can affect, which is why there are over 200 symptoms right now for long COVID, which is pretty astounding. I mean, long COVID is the thing I was really afraid of. It's like, obviously nobody wants to end up on a ventilator like the early days. So we all did the smart thing. We all got vaxxed and boosted and all that stuff, and thought we were doing pretty good. And as some of you know, I belong to a cover band. I love to play the guitar, but I've been the one person in the whole entire band who's been very, very cautious the whole time. And in fact, when they brought me in these are really good friends of mine. Keep in mind that some of them I have played with in bands before. So when the pandemic hit, their guitar player, who's also a good friend of mine, he stepped back and said, I don't really want to do this anymore. I'm tired. He didn't care about COVID. He just didn't want to do it anymore. He was tired of doing Friday, Saturday night shows. He was a little burned out. And he said, you should call Colors Fade and get him to do it, because he's a good guitar player and he likes to do this stuff. And they were right. They were good friends, so they called me and I said, okay, but this was last year. Was this a year ago? Maybe even longer than that. So we're in the midst of the pandemic and they call me and they say, do you want to be in our band? And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to be in the band, but we got a pandemic going on. I'm not crazy about doing shows unless they're going to be outdoor venues where we're away from the crowd and we have a lot of space. and a lot of air, you know. And they were like, yeah, sure, I understand that. So for a long time, we just didn't do any shows. But you know how musicians get, especially I think my bass player and my drummer were both pretty antsy to play some shows. And I hate being that guy who... I hate being the guy who's preventing people from doing things. I hate being the only vote in the band who's like, nah, I don't want to do that. And I kept saying no on a lot of different things. Well, then we had a chance to do a show in January, right as Omicron was surging. And I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. We did it, and we got out of that without incident. And the very next, like within the next 3 or 4 days, like so many people in this town and in these cities around us just got hammered. And I was like, well, I think we dodged a bullet, and we need to rethink our situation here. So we didn't do any more shows until May of this year. And of course, May of this year, we're all double vaxxed, we're all boosted. They're like, let's do some shows. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Well, I seem to be the only person in the band paying attention to what's actually going on. And I see BA4 variant and BA5 variant are soon going to be the dominant variants. They're coming out of South Africa, they're coming out of Europe, and they're more transmissible than even Omicron was. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. And we're doing Friday, Saturday shows in bars, right? So it's an enclosed environment. It's just, I'm thinking, how am I going to get through this? So we got through a show in May without incident. And then we got through a show in June, late June without incident. And right as we got done with that show, our bass player calls us and he says, hey, we got a 4th of July gig if we want it, Friday and Saturday. Do you guys want to play in front of 3,000 people? And I was like, 3,000 people? So when your booking agent, who's your bass player, who's your really good friend, says a show in front of 3,000 people, I automatically assumed it was outside. And I thought, okay, it's a small town, but there were going to be a lot of people there. I guess everybody comes in and goes camping, and there's a huge fireworks show and all that stuff. And I was thinking, well, okay, if it's going to be outside and we're going to play to 3,000 people, that might be okay. We get there, and it's not outside. It's in a little bar. It's in one of those little small town bars with 1,000 animal mounts on it, and Coors Light on tap, and it's like, oh, crud. And smoking is allowed in this bar. It's one of the only places in the world where you can still do that. And I just kept thinking, this is nuts. And we had some people there who got very drunk, who got right up in our face. I had one drunk lady who was coming up trying to request a song from me, spitting on my face, literally as close as my microphone was while I'm trying to sing backup vocals and play at the same time, which, by the way, is really hard for me to do. And she's trying to request a song while we're playing. Now, I have a hard enough time doing two things at one time. I have a really hard time playing and singing at the same time, unless it's a really easy rhythm pattern. I cannot understand a word she's saying because the volume's so loud anyways. And she's spitting all over me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is how I'm going to get COVID. And sure enough, we left that weekend and we came home. And it was the 4th of July, so everybody had Monday off. And on Tuesday, everybody in the band, except one person, amazingly, had symptoms. And I was like, I was so simultaneously disappointed and angry. I was really, really angry that I had allowed myself to get roped into that sort of a situation, that I didn't stick with my gut and say we shouldn't do this show. Because I'd been watching the numbers. I knew the BA5 variant was days away from being the dominant variant here in America. And I was just like, oh man, this is so bad. And that's what happened. We got COVID, and fortunately, and to give you an idea of what it feels like, I have heard that the BA4 variant has symptoms akin to meningitis. The BA5 variant, or at least I think that's what we had, me and the drummer both exactly the same symptoms. It felt like the worst version of strep throat you could possibly have, combined with the fatigue of mononucleosis, which I actually had in college and had to take a medical withdrawal from a whole semester because for 6 weeks I couldn't get out of bed. Recent attacks on Batana have inspired a citizen uprising. Our subjects have armed themselves and are taking the streets to defend the city. We stand with Batana. Let's see. Unlocks caravan. 50 defense. Ooh, yes. So that was what happened. And that's how I got COVID. And I feel like being very open about that because I think I think people deserve to know, people want to know, how'd you get that? Were you being stupid? Were you being reckless? And the answer is yes. I mean, after 2.5 years of being very vigilant, I worked from home for the last 12 years, so I was never worried about having to go out other than go to the grocery store and stuff. And against my better judgment, I allowed myself to get into this situation. And I got COVID, and it was really horrible. And thank goodness, my doctor was very swift on my ask for Paxlovid, so she got it to us right away. She got it to me, she got it to the bass player, she got it to our singer. I'm not sure what our drummer did. We actually have 2 drummers. One drummer plays rhythm guitar on about half of our songs. It's a role he wanted to transition to, which is why we brought in the second drummer. And the second drummer was the youngest of us, and he's actually the one who didn't get COVID, and he was the one who thought he was the vector. He's like, he calls us, he texts us Monday on the 4th of July and says, I just found out that I was exposed to someone last Thursday who had COVID. And I'm like, oh, great. But then it turns out all his tests came back negative over the subsequent weeks. So we know we got it at the show. Probably did get it from that woman breathing all over me and spitting all over me. She looked like she had, she seemed like a meth addict, actually. Oh, man, she did not seem like she was together. Kind of a whole sad situation. And so what happened after that whole situation was, obviously I had to deal with COVID, and I had to take the Paxlovid, and I had to get better. And I texted my very good friend, the bass player and the band leader. And I texted him and I said, I'm sorry, man, I gotta not be in the band anymore. I didn't tell him this exactly. I just told him, he knows that I've been the person who's been worried the whole time. And I told him, I said, this is not good. This is not good for me. It did exactly what I thought it would do to my lungs. Right now they feel ravaged. The cough is super annoying. And just like the coughs that I have when I get bronchitis, I mean, it's going to take weeks and weeks for it to go away. So that's pretty awful. In pretty much every way that you can think of. Elder acolytes. Yeah, give me those to get orders. So yeah, I dropped out of the band. I mean, it's one of those things, like, didn't necessarily want to have to make that move, but I knew what was going to happen. I knew that after everybody recovered, if nobody had to go to the hospital, which fortunately nobody did, I knew that they would just we already had shows booked for end of July, August, September. They were just going to keep booking shows and be like, well, we'll just take the risk, and if we get sick again, we'll get sick again. And it was like, ooh, no, that's not acceptable to me. I don't find that okay. That logic does not sit well with me. So now I am bandless, which is probably a good idea to be bandless for a while. Of course, I'll keep playing guitar every day because that's what I do. And if you don't play every day, you do lose some of your chops. What was kind of amazing was what was really amazing to me was, so Metallica got a little boost, specifically Master of Puppets, thanks to Stranger Things and Eddie, and it's just a fantastic episode. That was so much fun. I loved watching it. And I have to tell this story and then tell the result of it. A long time ago, back in 2010, I think. You have to understand, I've been playing guitar since I was 19 years old. I picked up the instrument when I was in the military. That was my first time getting a chance to play anything. And so I picked up an instrument and I learned how to play it. And Metallica was one of the first things that I really became attracted to. I started looking up their music, and I was like, I got the tab books, and I was learning how to play other songs. And the Master of Puppets album was really like one of the first albums where I actually learned how to play almost every song on it accurately, including all of Kurt Hammett's solos eventually. So but I just basically played in my room, and later on in my basement when I got married and bought a house, I just played by myself and I played the songs. That's all I did. And that brings me joy. It's fun. But I knew that eventually I had to get on a stage and play with people. I wanted to do that. So in 2010, I auditioned for a band. I saw their audition on Craigslist. They were a progressive rock band writing their own music, a bunch of young college kids. Here I am. I was like 35 or something like that at the time. And they're all like 23, 22, 23, stuff like that. And I said, you sure you want an old guy like me? And they're like, if you can play. So I responded to their ad on Craigslist. And they said, hey, can we come over and see you like right now? Like 5 minutes later, they sent me a message back. Like they really wanted a second guitar player really bad. And I said, okay, sure. I live kind of, far away from you guys. But, if you want to drive 20 minutes, here it is out in this rural area. They came over and I'm like, what do you want me to play? And the guy says, play anything. He goes, we have a guitar player right now, but he's really bad and I have to teach him everything. And he can't even read tabs. And they had tabbed all of their music, all the music they had written in Guitar Pro. I'm like, oh, I have Guitar Pro. I use it all the time. He's like, oh, man, so we could give you guitar profiles and you could just learn this stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, well, let's hear you play. So what I chose to play was Master of Puppets. And I just start out with the basic riff. It's like dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 and I just riffed it, and that's about how far I got. Actually, it was about 10 seconds into the song, and he stops me and he goes, dude, you're in the band. And it was so amazing. It was like all I had to do was play that little bit and they wanted me. But he could tell, he's like, how long you been playing? I'm like, 12, 14, 15 years, something like that. They're like, yeah, we want you. So it ended up being a really great experience. The band leader ended up going on to form a prog metal band called Stealing Axion, and they got signed to a record label and put out a couple of records. He was immensely talented as a guitar player and a songwriter and a lyricist. It was just really cool. I really enjoyed all my time with him. I enjoyed playing all those shows. And it was super fun, and it was great exposure for me to get to play with other people and play in a band and things like that. And what was interesting was I could play Master Puppets at that time up to speed, no problem. Well, here it was the other day. I'm still recovering from COVID, obviously, so I don't know how much that's affecting things, but I haven't played Master of Puppets in years. And so since Stranger Things brought the popularity of it back, I thought, sure, I'll take a chance. Let's see if I still remember how to play it. So I'm playing it, and it sounds a little slow to me. And I thought, well, let me just load the song on YouTube, and I'll play along with it. Oh, holy cow. I can't play that fast. Somehow, and I don't know if it's either because of age or COVID or whatever, but I have lost the speed with which to play that song. So it was really interesting to come into that situation, to just sit there and try to play that song and get absolutely smoked by it. I was like, whoa, it's kind of crazy. So Master of Puppets very fast. What it made me want to do is go back and practice that stuff. I used to love playing that song. I used to love playing that whole album. The Sanitarium is a great song. In fact, the only song I never could play off that album was Battery. Battery is simply too fast and too demanding for me to play. It's an incredible song. You guys are going to capture that pretty soon. We'll get all these guys healed up, and then we'll move them over here and take this last city. These guys are going to come down here and finish some people off. Everybody else, same kind of situations. Anybody who didn't fight that turn can come help put an end to some of these guys down here. So that's what's been going on, dealing with COVID, which I don't recommend for anybody to do. If you have a chance to stay away from it, do. If you have an opportunity to wear a mask out in public, do it. I know nobody's doing it anymore, but I started doing it again. I mean, I went to the grocery store a couple days ago, and I think I was only one of 2 or 3 people in the whole grocery store with a mask, but I'm like, I'm not doing this again. I don't want to get this again. This is horrible. The immunity from this wanes really fast. So I just don't want to take a chance. It was awful. It was as awful as you can imagine without having to go to the actual hospital. I mean, that was, and that was the fear for all of us, It was like, oh man, I don't want to have to end up on a vent. Not a good idea. Woodcutter. Yeah, woodcutter specialist would be good. We need some of those. And that was the one thing that I was thinking of before it came to, should we quit the band? Husband has died here. The one thing I kept thinking of was maybe I could play if I wanted to wear an N95 mask at shows. Maybe what I could do is mock myself up like some kind of steampunk person, wear a mask, get a wig, wear sunglasses, and really freak myself out. But they're such long shows, man. I mean, when you're a cover band, you play for 5 hours. You play for 4 hours with breaks, really, 4 sets. You're there from 9 to 2 in the morning. That's a long time to have a mask on and a wig on. And it's just, I mean, I feel bad for guys like Slipknot. They go out there and they do those 2-hour shows playing heavy metal music, and they do it with those sweaty masks. You get hot inside them, you get sweaty, and that's a 2-hour show. I can't imagine trying to do 5 hours, even with a chance to walk outside and take a 10-minute break and take your mask off. It would just be a nightmare. So it seemed like the best plan was to abandon that. I hate doing that, especially when they had shows booked, but it just seems so irresponsible to do something like that. And I know everybody wants to be done with this, but the virus doesn't care. The virus is like, done. I'm still evolving, people. And I know we're all hoping for that chance when it evolves into something far less dangerous, like the Spanish flu did in 1918. Or we're hoping that, the geniuses behind the vaccine can somehow come up with one that's more robust, that can handle all the different variants. It's like global, you know. It doesn't matter how it evolves, we've got you covered. But until those things happen, I just feel like the smart thing to do is be safe. It would pain me so much to have somebody that I really cared about take a dirt nap from this thing. I just can't imagine that. I can't imagine the pain that would feel like. We've had quite a few people pass away here in our small town and in neighboring towns, and people that friends and family know, and certainly my doctor, who's a good friend of mine outside of being my doctor. She has seen far too many people, you know, pass from this. So it's one of those sad things, you know. This is the world we have to live in right now. Unfortunately, we don't get to change things just because we want to. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. I'm really hoping that the cough will abandon its hold on me sooner rather than later. Because there's so many good games I want to play and so many good games I want to put on the channel. So many fun things that we could be doing other than this. So we have groups here. They're going to need to start. I'm just going to start moving some of these guys, because they're going to have to come over here. We have to take on Assyria. Happily, in this situation, the Persians are almost gone. So that's a big day. We like that. So I'm going to leave it here. We're going to save the game here. I think this is enough footage to put us into a full hour when I stab it onto the front of that other part of the episode. Obviously, this is going to be more time consuming to push videos out, because now I have to go through and edit out all the coughs, which is a darn shame. But the microphone's here, and it works, and it's awesome. And I don't know why I didn't think about using the SM58 earlier, like at the beginning of my YouTube career, because I had it way back then. If you're a musician, and especially if you're a musician that plays guitar and sings, you probably have an SM58 and an SM57. And if you don't, you should get both of those. We use the SM57 to mic my guitar cab, and of course the SM58 is for vocal singing, but it works perfectly in this format as a device for recording videos on YouTube, Let's Plays, and all sorts of other things. I've had a couple of cool requests for tutorial videos that I would very much like to get out if I can. So many people keep asking for a trade tutorial for Star Traders, so I would very much like to do that. I think I'll probably start writing the script for that very soon. Start scripting it out. Should be a short tutorial, and I think it would really help a lot of people with that game. There are role-playing games galore in my backlog that I want to get to, and some other fun things. So, lots coming. The Elden Ring series is about to come to a close. Definitely watch the last 3 or 4 episodes of that. It's totally worth your time, even if you're not into Elden Ring. I had a blast with that game, and I think it's going to be one of those games that, like Fallout 4 and Skyrim and a few other games, and Witcher 3. It's one of those games that you're going to come back to every year. You're going to be like, oh, it's about time to make a run through Elden Ring. In fact, I'm getting a hankering to play Witcher 3 again. I really ended up liking that game, even though it took 20 levels to learn how to do combat. So, folks, thanks for hanging out with me. As always, thanks for letting me ramble on this episode. I know I don't do that very often. This is something I would have done if I was on a stream on Twitch. But here today, I felt like it was worth it to get you all caught up on what's been going on and what you can expect from the channel. It's going to be really hard to put out content with this cough, because what I have to do is I have to actually watch the whole episode, and as I'm watching it, clip them out through the editor. I use DaVinci. It's wonderful. You should use it. Free version's great. Go get it if you want to edit videos. It's fantastic. But yeah, it's time consuming to have to watch the whole video and go through and clip all those out. In the meantime, see you all. Thanks for you folks, especially who follow me on Twitter. It's been a really fun place to engage people. I like that. I can post screenshots and thread my thoughts together on games. And I'm going to have a little bit of a surprise coming out for Wrath of the Righteous, which is the other thing that's kind of running at the same time on this channel. A little bit of surprise on that one coming, if I can get it put together. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, give it a thumbs up, like, leave a question, a comment. Those really tweak the algorithm. They love the comments, and so do I. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.